Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, Impact Wrestling, Victory Road. Went down Friday night. I was able to watch it over the weekend. Just never found time to go ahead and get the video done on it. So I'm going to go ahead and review this bad boy. One of Impact Wrestling's monthly shows. They're available on Fight TV and on Impact Plus. So it's definitely, most of these shows are worth watching. They're not obviously the big as Bound for Glory and stuff like that, but which is coming in October. So first we had two pre-show matches. So we had Alan Angels versus Guido Maritato. 5-minute match on the pre-show. This literally was just nothing. Alan Angels won, and they've given it 1 3/4 star. This next match I felt should have been on the main show, but okay. We had ABC Austin Bay Club, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, taking on the most professional wrestling gods, Brian Myers and Moose. Why Moose is on the pre-show, I will never know. I'm not a huge Moose fan, but the dude's uber talented. This match, typical pre-show match, you know, short, sweet, to the point. Everybody kind of hit their moves, and we're out of there. ABC Ace Austin and Chris Bay getting the victory, ended up giving it 2 3/4 star. First match on the main card, we had the X Division title on the line. It's not about weight. It's what is it? The old tagline for it. The X title is not about weight limits. I don't remember all of it. But anyway, the Impact X Division title on the line, champion Lio Rush versus KUSHIDA. KUSHIDA won the Ultimate X match for the #1 contendership and went up against Lio Rush. Honestly, this was a really, really good opening match. These are the kind of matches that you want to start a pay-per-view show over. Two guys that go out there and know their craft. Lio Rush, super talented. Both these guys can do striking. Both these guys can do the flippy flops that people call the Lucha Libre style. A couple big dives to the outside for Lio Rush, and KUSHIDA both did them. Lio Rush ended up getting the victory here. Ended up giving it 3.5. Next up, we have the Impact Knockout Tag Titles on the line. Champion MK Ultra, Killer Kelly, and Masha Slamovich. Going up against Gisele Shaw, I can't say that name, but kill me, and Savannah Evans. Truly, this was a Impact 1000 episode style of match. Killer Kelly, Masha Slamovich, just literally beat the tar out of them, to be honest with you. Savannah Evans is powerful and all, but yeah, this match was just okay to me. Ended up giving it 2.5. MK Ultra retaining the Impact Knockout Tag Titles. These Impact Knockout Tag Titles are literally around because you only have one women's title, and you can't have them all in non-title matches, so you can't have them all in title matches. So you have to do something so they look important, because Masha Slamovich is a champion quite a few places. She's a freaking world champion before. But yet, you just have her kind of tagging here with Killer Kelly, and she's probably one of the most talented knockouts on the roster. Gisele Shaw needs to go back to the UK and go back to Rev Pro, where she was a champion, and not just hanging around losing tag title matches. Next up, we had Crazy Steve versus Black Taurus. This was the end of Decay, the explosion that ended Decay. Crazy Steve, he's trying to be a modern day Mankind. If we remember when Mankind back in the day started talking and started cutting promos and stuff, and everybody got behind him, it's almost like Crazy Steve is trying to go to that but be a heel, and he's crazy and it's not working, and it's just whatever. And he was part of Decay with Black Taurus, and so this is kind of the let's explode Decay from the inside kind of deal. Black Taurus, I've seen him in freaking 4-star matches with El Hijo de Vikingo and Commander and those kind of guys. This match was just trash to me. Crazy Steve got the victory. Give it 2.5. Next up, We actually had a very interesting stipulation here. Is the Impact Digital Media Championship on the line versus career. So it was Tommy Dreamer's career versus Kenny King's Impact Digital Media Championship in the same building that Tommy Dreamer started with ECW, where he was a fan of wrestling. So they were in White Plains, New York. So a lot of family there for Tommy and kind of his home venue. Would it have been fitting for him to lose and go out like that? Yeah, that would have been kind of cool. But instead, we put the title on him. These old ECW guys, everybody chants for him. Everybody wants, you know, the Sandmans, the Sabus, the RVDs, the Dreamers. Guys, these guys are old. ECW was in the 90s, guys. We are 25 years away from their big run in ECW. Not saying that to be mean, but let's let the ECW's dead. These guys need to, Bully Ray and all them, these guys don't need to be in spotlights like this. I'm sorry, this is a spotlight match when there's a title on the line. I get the reason behind it, but to make it bigger, but let guys like Kenny King, K-I-N-G, Sheldon Gene, and that kind of guys have a spot here. These old timers sometimes hang on in these smaller companies. Rankin Orton's still wrestling. Rest my case. There's a reason guys like this aren't in AEW. There's a reason guys like this aren't in WWE on a full-time basis. Yeah. This match was okay. It wasn't god trash horrible. It was 2.5 star, or sorry, 2 3/4 star with Tommy Dreamer winning, but it was okay, you know. Next up, could be one of the women matches of the year: the returning Jordynne Grace versus Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa. What made this match even more is previous meetings. Deonna has beat Jordynne twice, and title was on the line. Jordynne lost to Deonna, left. Her contract was up. Rumor had it she wasn't going to resign. She went to this bodybuilding. No offense, Jordynne. I don't like what you've become. I want the old Jordynne Grace back. You know, the Jordynne Grace from All In. I don't like this Jordynne Grace, but that's just a personal opinion. Wrestling wise, as better than ever, talent wise. These two women went out there and they tore it down. This is exactly how a women's match should go. We had great storyline because of the history. We had great back and forth. We had the power of Jordynne Grace. We had the finesse of Deonna Purrazzo. Jordynne Grace getting the victory. I give it 3.5. Maybe it should have been 3 3/4. This match was super good. This could be one of the best matches of the year for Impact Wrestling. Next up, we had Anything Goes match, PCO and Bully Ray. Remember earlier when I said that when wrestlers get to a certain age, they need to not wrestle anymore? They're not in big companies for a reason. Yeah. This match actually started on the pre-show. PCO was walking across the parking lot and Bully Ray ran over him or ran into him. And Carl, you wanted Everything Goes match. Carl Roulette was his name back in the day. Pierre Carl Roulette, when he was part of it was a tag team in WWE back in the day. What was his name back then? Hold on, let me see if I can pull him up here. What was that tag team's name? Yeah, it was Pierre Carl Roulette, what the PCO stands for. I want to say, I can't even honestly remember. Let's see. The Quebecers, back in the early 90s, early to mid 90s in WCW, late 90s in WCW and WWF. They made a return early 2000 WWF. Yeah, this is that guy. 55-year-old PCO. going up against Bully Ray. Obviously, we know how great the freaking Team 3D was. 52-year-old Bully Ray. I'm sorry, in 2023, we don't need two 50-something-year-olds who don't wrestle that well anymore in the ring together. So this match became anything goes. Yeah, doors, chairs, the whole freaking 9 yards. They've done everything to PCO. They've set his genitals on fire. They've put the car battery to him. Bully Ray actually set him on fire during this feud. PCO ended up getting the victory here. It was 9 minutes and 46 seconds. It was just god awful. I give it 2.5. And that's just me being nice. I could have been 1.5, but you know. On CageMatch.com, where I get a lot of information from, their match rating over 22 votes was 2.87 on a 10 scale. So you figure half of that on the 5 scale that I use, you're looking at about a 1.5 star match, give or take. I give it 2.5. So I was very generous with that. Next up with the Impact World Tag Titles on the line, we had champion the Rascalz, Trey, Miguel, Zachary, Wentz, going up against the Motor City Machine Guns, Shelley, the current Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, and Sabin, the former World Heavyweight Champion, both former X Division Champions, both former Impact World Tag Team Champions, both two of the greatest Impact superstars in the history of the company. Someday, future Hall of Famers. Oh, by the way, yes, the beginning of the greatest tag teams. You look at the Rascalz, you look at the Young Bucks. Those teams wouldn't be around if it wasn't for the Motor City Machine Guns. They brought that style, the junior heavyweight style of tag team wrestling, on the map. So, this match was good. Of course, the Rascalz, you know, the heels that they are, they like to cheat to win, you know, the heel tactics, which is fine sometimes. But overall, this match was pretty good. 3.5 star. Obviously, spraying somebody in the face with green spray paint behind the ref's back, hitting with title belts and that kind of stuff. But 3.5 star match. The Rascalz retaining the tag titles. Hopefully, we can get maybe a ladder match out of these two teams or something big like that. But love to see. I know we're not going to get it in Impact 1000 because it's already happened. But maybe at Bound for Glory or something, we can do a triple threat ladder match. Yeah, I'm reverting back to 2000 before the TLC match. But hey, teams like this, hell, add the Young Bucks to it. Add whatever young team, add Kenny King and Sheldon Jean to it, you know. Add, you know, insert great young athletic tag team. But the Rascalz still your Impact Tag Team Champions. Next up, we had Impact Knockout World Title on the line. Champion Trinity versus Alisha Edwards. Alisha Edwards won the Battle Royal to become #1 contender. This was just god-awful. Oh my god. We had Trinity fighting Eddie Edwards. We had Trinity putting Eddie on the table, being held by Frankie Kazarian and Tracy Brooks. And Trinity putting Eddie through a table while in a match with his wife. We had Frankie Kazarian and his wife coming down and interfering with Eddie and his wife. We had all this cluster shit going on. And then we had Alisha cutting a promo on Impact before going, well, my husband's here, yours isn't. Obviously, we know her husband's Jimmy Uso, and he's not going to be there. But if they want to get involved with Eddie and Alisha and Terry Brooks and Frankie Kazarian, Trinity can always call her cousin-in-law in. What's his name? Oh yeah, Oos. Not that Oos. Jacob Fatu, MLW star, GCW star. Ew. How about that? Go get Jacob Fatu to part of this triangle family match. She can just say, hey, I made a phone call. You know, just have Jacob show up. You can have Trinity out there going, you know what? Yeah, my husband can't be here, but a family member of his can. And have Jacob come out and go, you know what, Oos called me and says you need some help. Here I am. I'm all yours, cuz. What's going on? And boom, there you go. Make that happen. This match was trash from the start with all the other crap going on. Alisha Edwards did not deserve a freaking title shot. Especially when you got Deonna Purrazzo, Jordynne Grace, Masha Slamovich on this freaking roster. Killer Kelly, even Gisele Shaw, Savannah Evans, all these women on this roster. Alisha Edwards did not deserve a title shot. It was less than 9 minutes. I give it 1 3/4 star. I hated this match to begin with. Trinity still your knockout women's champion. The former champion who never got pinned versus the guy who thinks he's the all that and he really isn't. Josh Alexander, the walking weapon versus Steve Macklin. I will give Steve Macklin credit. He is a powerful wrestler. He can go out there and he can put on a big old hoss fight. Josh Alexander, on the other hand, one of the best wrestlers in Impact Wrestling. These guys went out there and went at it. It was a fight. It wasn't just a wrestling match. It was a fight and a brawl. Alexander ended up getting the best of Steve Macklin with a 3 3/4 star match, 18.5 minutes long, 18:45 exactly. But hopefully we'll get Josh Alexander versus Alex Shelley for the Impact World title soon. And then Josh will get that back for a 3rd time. The first time he was cashed in on by Moose, like freaking within 30 seconds of winning it. The 2nd time he was the longest reigning. Yes, you heard me right with that. The longest reigning Impact TNA World Heavyweight Champion in the history of the company. 323 days, if I remember correctly, or something like that. And he had to relinquish it because of injury. So, hopefully he can get that back. Otherwise, it's a pretty good show. We have another one in September, if I remember correctly. I don't remember top of my head. They have these things so freaking often anymore. It's like, I love the fact they're using the old names. The old TNA, Victory Road, and that kind of thing. They got Bound for Glory is the big shows. Let's pull the monthly specials, as it says on here. So we have Turning Point in October 27th. That's the next one. Okay, so this was September. And what? Turning Point is the next one, October 27th. But yet we have Bound for Glory on the 21st. That makes 0 sense. That's something that AEW would do. Let's see. That is so weird. Let me find it here. Monthly pay-per-views. Let's go to, what the hell is that? 2023. Yeah, Bound for Glory is October 21st. 1 week later, we're doing Turning Point. Turning Point is in Newcastle, England, while Bound for Glory is in New York. Or in Chicago, sorry. Cicero Stadium, Cicero, Illinois. Okay. Huh. Is Cicero in the Chicago area, or am I just retarded? I think it is. Yes, literally right outside of Chicago. Okay, 19 minutes from Chicago. Okay. Huh. Bound for Glory is in Chicago. All Out was in Chicago. Survivor Series is in Chicago. By God, they're in Chicago. CM Punk's going to show up at Bound for Glory and wrestles Will Ospreay. It'd be cool. Will Ospreay will be there though. Yeah, I'm hyped for that one. But could Punk show up? There's talk. Will he go back to WWE? There's talk. But the recent talk is him showing up there. I could see it. It'd be interesting to see if he did. Just show up in freaking Chicago and then end up in WWE again. But that is Impact Wrestling Victory Road. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.